Did you know that your body is talking to you? Do you know that when you have pain, when you are getting sick, when you have a cold, when there's any physical symptoms, do you know that it's because your body is talking to you? I want to bring you some kind of different approach to illness, and I hope it's going to help you to start to understand that maybe what you've been doing so far or what you've been told to do so far is not the best you can do to stay healthy. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Serena. On my channel, I'm all into talking about how to achieve optimal health through holistic detox. What I mean by holistic detox, I mean mind, body, and soul. So I approach everything from a frequency point of view, and some of you may have never heard of it, but I believe that if you're watching this video, it's because you've been drawn to it and you're meant to see this video. So I hope it will help, and I hope it can inspire you in some way. So your body is talking to you. Your body is your vessel. You came on Earth, on planet Earth, for a reason. You came here for a purpose. I'm going to become a bit more into spiritual here. And just as a disclaimer, when I mean spiritual, I don't mean religious. I am not a religious person. I mean more from an energy approach. And you have a soul, which is usually what you feel when you have your gut feeling and what feels good coming from your heart. And you also have this 3D body, which is your vessel to go through this lifetime. And we are so used, especially in Western medicine, to, as soon as there is a pain, as soon as there is something kind of going wrong with your physical body, we tend to want to suppress it with pills. And this has started about almost 100 years ago now, for some reasons, for some business reason actually, but I will make another video on this. But the thing is that every time you suppress those symptoms, it gets worse. Because every time you suppress a symptom, it means that you are actually disconnecting yourself more with yourself. You're disconnecting yourself from listening to what your body is telling you. So you can't heal the roots. And I'm all into healing the roots. I'm all into understanding what is the root of everything. Actually, this is really what drives me in my life. And that's why I love quantum physics and quantum biology so much, because it's the root of everything. Everything is energy. Everything vibrates at a certain frequency. And when you bring this back to your body and symptoms, you are meant to you have an optimal frequency at which you will function best, at which your body will function at its optimal, at which your immune system will function at its optimal. Same with your digestive system. All of your systems have an optimal frequency, and all together you have this overall optimal frequency into which your body functions at its best. And this is where you are also very you have clarity, you're focused, and you have energy. So basically energy flows within your body. And a symptom means there is something that is blocked within, that there is something that doesn't function properly, there is something that is out of balance. And if you suppress this instead of listening to it, it's just like you're putting a plaster on it, and it may solve the issue for a short-term period, but it's not going to solve anything on the long term. On the long term, it's going to come out, and even worse usually. So this is really something, this is what I want to share in this video, because I really want to make you aware, or just plant a seed, because again, this is my truth. It's based on my own 20 years of experience and research and everything, so I believe there is kind of some truth in there, but it has to resonate with you. But just to plant a seed that anytime you take a medication, I was going to say I am against medication. I am not totally against medication. I am against the way medication is being prescribed, because I think that medication can be useful on a short term. When there is a lot of pain, it can really help to on the short term, because sometimes you're in such pain that you need this medication. But it has to come with some more holistic approach next to it, so that you're able to treat the root, to heal the root at the same time. Otherwise, the issue will come back. And what I have an issue with is those medication being prescribed on the long run, because, and I've seen it for myself, though medication are lab created, and the reason that there is so many side effects to medication, and the side effects are listed usually on this tiny paper that comes in the box with the pills, so you have access to it, but somehow it's become like normal to accept those side effects, which to me is nothing but normal. But so it comes with so many side effects, because those pills, again, because it's lab created, it's synthetic, and because it's synthetic, it has a very low frequency. So anytime you are going to take those things, you're going to lower your own frequency. And by lowering your own frequency, first of all, you're not going to feel good, and second of all, you're going to become a match to other lower frequencies particles, and usually viruses, pathogens, bacteria, fungals, all of these have a low frequency. So that's why I keep saying in my videos, raise your frequency, because the higher your frequency, the less you'll just be a match to any low frequency particles, pathogens. Why? Because it's as simple as, tuning onto a radio station. If you tune into a 90.7 radio station, you're not going to be able to listen to the radio station that has a frequency of 110.6, because it's just a different frequency. And it works exactly the same with you. If your overall frequency is high, and usually the optimal frequency for someone, because all this has been measured, it's not woo-woo stuff as often people think. Your optimal is usually between 62 megahertz is usually the optimal ones. And when you go down to 58, it's when you start to be into the more 58 is actually when you start to be a match to the flu, to all those kind of viruses. So when you focus on raising this frequency, if your frequency is at 62, there's no way the 58 or even lower frequencies pathogens are going to hit you, because you're just going to be able to protect yourself for it. They even won't be attracted to you, because you're not a match, and they know it. But whereas if your frequency is low, through negative thoughts, through negative emotions, all of those negative feelings that often we may have, or by exposing yourself to pollution or to different things that are lowering your frequency, or taking medication that are actually going to lower your frequency, then you may start to become a match to it. This is why, for example, often people who take antibiotics, after this 7 days of antibiotics, usually after it, when they stop it, they right away they catch a cold. And this is so common. I've seen it in so many people. And why? It's just because these antibiotics are suppressing your immune system. And this is one thing, but at the same time, meaning it's lowering your own frequency. So when you stop using those, you don't have the synthetic pill, not to say anything else, that is protecting you in a way. and it's like it's not replacing your immune system, because this is exactly what it's doing. And so it's back to, it's only your immune system working, but because it's been put to sleep, it's not working properly anymore. So you're not able to defend yourself against other things outside, and because you are in this lower frequency, you're just going to be a match to the flu, to cold, and things like this. And this is why you just get sick. So try to think about this. Like, watch the video again if it's not clear, because then it can become clear. And drop me a message if you have questions, or put it in the comments. But really start to understand that as any time you expose yourself to things that are with a low frequency, and I talk about this all over the place in my channel, so you can really see what are all those things. But basically, as soon as it's synthetics, it is lowering your frequency. And not detoxing with heavy metals and pesticides and herbicides and all of this, it's the same. So when you become aware of this, and you start to focus on, or at least to become aware of what it is that you take, and what it is that how you live your life, and how you also start to listen to those symptoms that your body is telling you, instead of just putting a blaster on it, then you'll start to be able to, first of all, allow your system to do its work. Like, your immune system is meant to protect yourself. If you each time put a suppress it, because this is exactly what pills are doing, it suppresses your immune system to work, antibiotics and other things, then over time it gets lazy. It's not working anymore. It's not doing its work anymore, just because you keep putting it to rest. Whereas when you stop taking those pills, it forces it to work. Fever is a good thing. I see so many people, like, every time they have fever, or the child has fever, it's like, oh my gosh, we have to lower the fever. No, let the fever be. There is some extreme where, okay, it gets too much, so you have to cool the body down, okay. But taking pills to suppress the fear is putting the immune system to rest. So the thing is that, again, it may be a short-term solution that is going to feel better for you, but on the long run, it's going to make it worse. So that's why you really want to think about everything that you're doing, and think that about how everything in your life, and how it's important to listen to what your body is telling you, and not just shut it down, basically, not just ignore it, put a blaster on it, so that, okay, right now it's fine, it can function a bit more, and then you keep pushing it, and then at some point it crashes. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. I hope it helps. If you like the video, give me a thumb up, subscribe to my channel. If you have questions, again, drop them in the comments, and I will talk to you later. Bye guys.